I'm a bit late to the party, but I was so excited to check out Jordan Peele's newest film, Nope, which came out a short while ago, and I must say it is really one cool film. Hi, my name's Jordan. Welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, when I say it's recently came out, you know what I mean. I know it's been out for a bit longer, but you know, it is his most recent film. Anyway, Jordan Peele is a really interesting creator. I really have liked all of his films up until now. The last one I did cover, actually the only one I haven't covered, Get Out, but I covered Us. I'll leave to that at the end of this video. And I was really excited to watch Nope because I mean, you get the kind of feeling from the promotion and all the talk that surrounded it, even just after the trailer came out. This probably involves aliens, and you've got everyone looking up at the skies. It's a bit mysterious. So yeah, and aliens are a topic I do generally enjoy. Whether they exist or not, I don't know. All I'll say is the universe is a pretty big place, and humanity might go insane at the thought of being alone in it. But we're waiting for evidence, aren't we? Anyway, so I was really excited, and this sort of continues in the way like his previous films did, and I find it really cool. It's a horror film, but it's not a horror film. It's not like, let's say, a Friday the 13th, where it's pretty clear from the start where the story's going, what's going to happen, all these kind of things. There's always, I get the feeling that Jordan Peele, he doesn't want to stick to just one thing. It would be a bit maybe just too simple or boring or something for him to go, right, this is just a horror film about, like, for instance, aliens just abducting people and that's it, He always tries to, fold in some other themes, and it's not just a straight horror film, and it's really, really cool. Now, as per usual, what is it that this film is about? We will discuss the plot for a bit. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away because part of the film, especially in the first act, is the mystery surrounding it. But I'll still talk about it. We are focused actually on a family of horse trainers. They train horses for Hollywood films, and it's two siblings and the father mysteriously dies due to, let's call them, strange circumstances. And the two kids that we are left with, one of them is played by Daniel Kaluuya, and the other one is played by Keke Palmer. And the two of them, they try to continue on this business, although Keke Palmer's character is also trying to branch out into other things like singing and acting and filming, directing, all these kind of things. Doing a good thing, basically. And Daniel Kaluuya's character is trying to continue on the business, but they're struggling because he is quite an introvert. She is the extrovert. So when they have these gigs, that's shown at the start, he's having real trouble with it, whereas she just thrives in that area. Anyway, so they're having trouble there. They've got a neighbouring. It's a ranch. It's like a ranch/theme park. It's owned by a character played by Steven Yeun, a former sort of childhood star, and they draw aliens to the area because this is suspicious surroundings and spottings and all these kind of things. So, to put it simply, the two are in a bit of need of money. They've had to sell horses just to keep the business going. And they spot this thing that happens. I won't go into details, This thing happens, and they have a desire to capture it for profitable reasons. So they're trying to make money out of the situation. There's something very, very strange that goes on. They think they've got a grasp on it, and they want to capture some proof in hopes of selling it off to make some money. And that is pretty much it. I'll say they enlist a guy who's into electronics. He's from the local sort of electronics store. He helps them set up cameras and all sorts to capture them. He's played by Brandon Perea. And then there's one other person they finally involve. He's played by Michael Wincott, one of the coolest voices on earth, I suppose you could say. He is a film director with special equipment that they need to capture this thing that they want to capture. I'm being deliberately vague because I feel that the mystery surrounding the film and what the thing is also something that keeps it going. That's why it's not just a horror film. It's also very interesting in those aspects. But that's all I'll tell you about the plot. So they've got this goal. They want to profit off this one thing for monetary reasons. Now, why is this film so cool? It has definitely got horror vibes. I myself, I wouldn't really even describe it as a horror film. I don't know, I mean, maybe it's because after experiencing so much horror media, you know, it's quite easy to brush things off, of course. But yes, I mean, there are horror elements here. You've got tension, you've got some really just horrifying things, particularly with sound. There's yeah, I'd love to talk about it in a sort of spoilery way, but I'm definitely not going to. All I'll say is for people who have seen the film, sound is something very interesting. You know, a scream can be something very simple, but the way a scream, because that's a typical element of a horror film, of course, how screams are used in this film is really, really cool. And just thinking about the situation it happens in is just really crazy. Definitely also got horror vibes. There's one really, really beautiful shot in this film. I'm also not going to show that because I don't want to spoil anything. But visually, it's horrifying and wonderful at the same time. There's a lot of horror elements here, of course. So yes, it is a horror film, but like I say, it's also about this other aspect. It's got sort of Western elements as well in it, not just because we have horses appearing, but just the whole feel of it and how it's done. And it's all about chasing spectacle. Now, I watched background things. I actually watched the film itself a second time as well, because with Jordan Peele films, I feel like quite a bit of it goes over my head, so I like to watch them at least a second time to get a bit of grasp of the whole thing. Glad I did after watching the extras on the Blu-ray, because they definitely filled in some blanks that I had. And it's also about chasing spectacle, the whole thing, because as I said, you know, they discover this thing and then everyone's after it, out for it, and at their own personal risk at times as well. So it's really an interesting examination of, you know, how far some people go just for that one chance, their 15 minutes of fame or that quick paycheck, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's not just a straightforward horror film. There's a lot of other things going on as well, and I just love it. Love the whole vibe. Sound design is something that's used really, really well in this film. I already talked about screams, but just the soundtrack, the score, just the whole, yeah, the vibe you get off these certain scenes is really, really cool. I love the two main characters. I mean, everyone in it is good, but obviously particularly those two. It's really interesting because they're so on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like I say, Daniel Kaluuya's character is quite introverted, you know, he's not really that talkative and not that outgoing. And then you've got KK Palmer's character, who you at times just want to reel in because she's just so outgoing. But the two play off each other really well, and they play siblings really well. So I felt very drawn to them and their personal story here, and their adventure, I'll call it. It's definitely a fun film. Like I say, if you're out for something really interesting, you know, it's definitely something fresh. It's not what I expected it to be. You think you know where it's going, then it goes in another direction, and it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what this film is. I know when it came out, there were people online who just were confused as hell about the film. Like I say, I was as well in parts, but you know, a second viewing just cleared a lot up. I noticed that the first time round, I must admit, I wasn't paying attention to the film. So this film, definitely pay attention from the start. You might miss small details that actually later on. Yeah, it's a great recommendation from me. I think it's really fun. I just love Jordan Peele's films. They are very unusual, and in the good way. It's like yeah, it's just, he's got an interesting way of making films. I really enjoy them a lot. I can't wait to see what he does next. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about nope. By the way, the word nope is used very well in the film as well on several occasions. You're like, ah, that's the title, you know, but yeah, it's used really well. I enjoyed that quite a lot. There's some humour in here as well, well-placed humour. Yeah, if you've got a comment about this film or other films, especially from Jordan Peele, leave them down in the comments below. Like I said, I'll leave a link, probably over here, to the film Us, which I really enjoyed. I actually enjoyed more than this one, but it's a different film, so yeah, but both really good. Any and all of that down in the comments below, and I'll thank you for watching. It's a bit jumbled here at the end. I know I'm a bit all over the place with my thoughts, but I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.